In my reread of My Hero, I found myself enjoying so many characters that Horikoshi designed, and I thought it'd be cool to cover some characters and their ability sets. And as you already know, today I wanted to cover the face of the big three, Mirio, aka Lemillion. When you think of Mirio, you usually think of his happy demeanor, the large smile he constantly wears on his face, and occasionally his goofy nature. But he has a serious side that we see more often when he's protecting someone he cares for, like Eri. After he and Deku initially fail to save her, he commits himself to the idea of not failing again, and in doing so, he not only sacrifices his quirk to rescue Eri, but also risks his life further by continuing to fight without it, knowing there would be a chance that Overhaul could touch him, all while keeping a smile on his face as if it didn't even matter as long as he protected Eri to the best of his ability. Mind you, not even knowing if Deku would make it in time to assist him in the fight against Overhaul. All of this goes to show how much he cares for the people he protects and how much pride he takes in this job as a hero. Even after the battle is over, he doesn't give up as a hero. Even though he can't continue as a hero with a quirk, he decides to take care of Eri as much as he can, with Deku and Aizawa showing that there's different meanings to the word hero. We know that being quirkless can really affect a person in this world, the main example being Deku, who was bullied all his life. If you want to hear more about how this affected Deku, you can check out my video on Deku, linked in the description below. All in all, we know in the My Hero verse, we see characters who are quirkless or lose their quirks go through some really sad times. If it were almost anyone else, they likely would have given up on their dream or even go through some extreme measures to get another quirk. We see this later on in the series when there's a war between the Paranormal Liberation Front versus the heroes. The hero Death Arms, someone who, while not significant, we've still known since the first chapter, he gives up on being a hero when times get really rough for everybody. But our boy Mirio is able to find the best part of the situation and persevere through all the pain and stress while keeping a smile on his face. Mirio is a powerful character in the series in his own right. Not only can he utilize his quirk very effectively, with one of the best controls of a quirk shown in the series, but his body is also trained to match it. When he's first introduced, he's strong enough to one-shot each and every student in Class 1A. After that, his fight with Overhaul, he lost his quirk, and we still see him fighting and keeping up with Overhaul as if he hasn't lost a step at all. And he continues to fight even after being affected by Sasuke's quirk, which makes Mirio lose his balance. Even though he was eventually beaten, the fact that with his pure physical ability, he was able to hold out until the heroes came is a great feat for Mirio. Next, we can get into some of Mirio's abilities. His quirk is called Permeation, and as the name implies, it allows him to phase through anything, even his own clothes. This quirk was super difficult and dangerous for him to learn. One of the main problems with the quirk is, if he didn't have perfect control, he could do things like fall straight through the earth, or stop phasing through a wall, cutting himself in half. But even with these risks, he continued to train his quirk to the max, which allowed him to learn different ways to use his quirk. He took the risk of falling into the earth and made it an ability that allowed him to shoot himself from out of the ground. This also increases the power of his punches, as he's shooting himself out like a rocket, which increases the force of each blow. Harnessing this quirk also allowed him to create some ultimate techniques that we see throughout the series. The first is Ultimate Phantom Menace, which he used to take out several of Overhaul's men in quick succession. And the next of his ultimate abilities is called Blind or Touch Eyeball Crush. And with this, he pretends to attack the opponent's eyes and forces them to close them, and delivers a powerful blow at the time in which they can't see. It's oddly very effective, and we see him do it versus Deku in his fight against Class 1A. But that's not the only aspect of Mirio we'll cover today. While he's portrayed as this happy-go-lucky character, Horikoshi introduces some more depth to Mirio, as we learn he's supposed to be the original successor to All Might. Mirio's character is a reason people like Eraser believe he can be a top hero. Not only that, but even Night Eye believes him to be a true replacement for a One for All, because of the way that Mirio's attitude is, and especially considering that at the time, Deku still had a lot of work to do. It's why Night Eye didn't want to acknowledge Deku to begin with. I think the takeaway for some to understand is that whether he's quirkless or not, Mirio is still Mirio through and through, and he doesn't allow his quirk to define him. He has full understanding that having a quirk is not what it means to be a hero. This part of his personality benefits others around him, as we see him assist in Eri's development as he spends more time with her, and even inspire the other Big Three members to push past their limits in battle. As a side note, while I do enjoy Mirio, I wanted to add my personal opinion on where his character has gone throughout the series. And honestly, from the time we've seen Mirio in the beginning to after the overhaul fight, he's been a great character. However, when he assisted the fight against Shigaraki, I personally feel like he should have gotten a bit more shine as we close on the final fight against Shigaraki and tension gets really high. Not really things like this. I do love how inspiring he is in the war, and I appreciate him being included in the fights moving towards the end of My Hero. But as somebody who was supposed to be the successor of One for All, and for somebody promoted as the face of the Big Three, who is such a prominent team in the beginning where we first get introduced to them, I think he does deserve more. Mirio has been one of the coolest and loved characters in the series overall. He's not only a powerful character in his own right, but has the personality of a true hero and an overall good person. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.